Ever scheduled a Zoom meeting with someone overseas only to realize you're an hour too early or worse, too late? Time zones might seem like an annoying detail when you're planning travel or international calls, but they're absolutely essential for a functioning global society. Each of the 24 time zones stretches about 15 degrees of longitude, which means the sun is roughly the same angle above the horizon in each one at any given time. The only exception is the international dateline, which cuts across the Pacific Ocean between the Americas and Asia. It's the spot where today becomes tomorrow. Before time zones, time was local. Each town set its clocks based on the position of the sun, so noon literally meant when the sun was highest in the sky. But with the rise of trains in the 19th century, this caused chaos. Imagine trying to run a railway system where every station runs on its own clock. That's why Sir Sandford Fleming, a Canadian engineer, proposed a global system of standard time zones. He presented his idea to a group of railroad executives in 1879. Divide the Earth into 24 equal slices, each 15 degrees of longitude apart, one for each hour of the day. Travelers could then adjust their clocks as they crossed into a new slice, and time would be standardized from New York to London to New Delhi. It took a few decades, but his proposal eventually paid off. In 1884, world leaders met at the International Meridian Conference in Washington, D.C. to decide on a standard time system. They agreed to use the prime meridian located in Greenwich, England, as a starting point and base all other time zones on that. These days, most time zones are expressed as offsets from UTC, or Coordinated Universal Time. Think UTC +1 for Paris or UTC -5 for the state of Montana. This keeps things simple. The Earth rotates 360 degrees every 24 hours. That means it turns 15 degrees every hour, so it makes sense to divide the globe into 24 time zones. This way, noon in each time zone generally lines up with when the sun is highest in the sky. That's why it's 6 p.m. in New York when it's already 11 p.m. in London. If we didn't have time zones, trying to coordinate a phone call between London and New York would involve some complicated math. With time zones, it's easy. Just subtract 5 hours from your local time to figure out what time it is in London. Time zones help us function, but they also challenge us, especially as we become a 24/7 global society. During the pandemic, for instance, virtual meetings often take place across multiple time zones, which can lead to some awkward moments. How many times has a 10 a.m. meeting for you turned out to be 7 p.m. for your colleague on the other side of the world? Oops. Time zones can also wreak havoc on our sleep schedules, causing fatigue and making us feel grumpy. That's why it's important to consider the time zone differences when scheduling meetings or calls with people overseas. A little bit of planning goes a long way, but there are other benefits too. Time zones help keep the world running smoothly. They let businesses, schools, and governments operate in sync with the sun, which is essential for productivity and well-being. Without time zones, coordinating international flights or global trade would be a logistical nightmare. For example, if planes took off and landed in different time zones without accounting for the time differences, there would be constant confusion about when a flight actually departed or arrived. Similarly, if countries couldn't agree on a standard time, it would be nearly impossible to coordinate the global financial markets. So while time zones might seem like a small, sometimes annoying detail, they're actually a critical part of our global infrastructure. They let us function as a global society and make it possible for people and businesses to operate across time and space. There are some quirks to consider though. Most countries move their clocks twice a year for daylight saving time, forcing everyone to push or pull their sleep schedule by an hour. Not only does this cause confusion and disrupt sleep patterns, but it also poses potential health risks. And not all places observe daylight saving time. Arizona and Hawaii don't do it. Neither does most of the rest of the world. That leaves us with a patchwork quilt of time zones, and it can be hard to keep track. Then there are political complications. China, despite spanning 5 time zones, uses just one, Beijing time. India uses a half-hour offset, and some places like Nepal use a 45-minute one. That means there are some weird discrepancies. Tech companies and other organizations have to constantly update their databases to reflect these changes. Despite the challenges, time zones are a brilliant solution to a rotating planet and a daily reminder of how connected our world really is. They help us function, but they also challenge us. As a 24/7 global society, it is up to us to find ways to work around their quirks and make the most of this modern marvel. What's the weirdest time zone fact you've come across? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and subscribe for more videos that explore the hidden systems shaping our world.